So this is my site video for San Juan College. I'm in the veterinary technician program in my last semester, and I have been using where I work, my animal shelter, Wayside Waifs, as my preceptor, and I'm going to show you around the vet clinic. So this is the entrance to our vet clinic. This area here is what we call the discharge area. When animals get adopted, because we are an animal shelter, they can come back here and these tables fold down, and we check out all the animals before they actually go. We do a physical exam, make sure that they don't have any issues, just one last final look over before they get adopted. So that's what happens in this area. A lot of our antibiotics and topical and stuff like that are up here in the pharmacy. And then this little tiny refrigerator over here is our fecal fridge. All volunteers and staff can actually collect fecals, and there's a door on the other side that they can open from the outside, and then they can put the fecal in the front of the fridge there, and that way we just check it periodically to run fecals. And then this is our computer station. Over on this side of the discharge area is our lab. We do send off the majority of our blood work, so I did have to do a second preceptorship at Blue Pearl veterinary specialist so that I could get a lot of my CBC and stuff like that finished. But here we do have our microhematocrit centrifuge for PCV and total protein. We have our fecal centrifuge, also can be used for urine, and then we have our regular centrifuge for spinning blood. It's kind of an oldie but a goodie there. And then we have a couple of microscopes over there. So that's our lab area. And then back over here right now, it's being used to clean kennels, but there's a nice deep sink there that we have pretty much dedicated to use for medicated bathing, such as an animal with seborrheic mange or ringworm or something like that. Over here, this wet table, we pull a lot of dental paraphernalia over here, and this is where we do our dentals. So we have our oxygen and waste scavenging unit and a nice light coming from the ceiling. And we also have vacuums in the wall, like a central vac, so that we can vacuum up any hair or dirtiness that happens, nail clipping, stuff like that. So we have our little dental machine here, and that is what we use to clean teeth for our waifs, is what we call them. We're Wayside Waifs, and we call our animals our waifs here at the shelter. And we also have a dental x-ray unit over here, so they're all kind of little mobile units that we pull out here. And then this gets hooked up to that computer over there, so that we can be well away from the radiation when we're doing it on our dental patients. And then it has some drawers there, and that's where all of our dental paraphernalia is. And then for the dental patients, we also have a hot dog warmer that we use for our patients. And then this is kind of just a general office area and our refrigerator, big refrigerator. This station here is where the doctors generally look at animals in the afternoons. We have what are called assessments, where the doctors do physical exams on all the animals that are coming through the shelter, or any animal that is sick and needs to be put on medication, or dewormed, or skin scrape, any of those kind of physical exam erroneous findings. That is the vet's office over there. And this is kind of their station, the vet station, where when they look at animals in the afternoon. And then this room is called cat surgical, but it's actually mislabeled. What we use it for is any cats that are kind of like an intensive care unit. We have a whole separate isolation area, so it's not really for contagious disease. It's just like, hey, we have a little kitten who needs a little bit of extra care and needs to be monitored. It'll go in this room. And then over here we have our we do have dog surgical, and that is properly labeled. So this is what we call pre-surgery. So when we have, this is where dogs are put before they're in surgery. That way they're quieter. Well, they're not quieter, but we don't hear them as much. And that's my little dog. Hello. We have a nice lift table here. We can use it both to lift animals from the ground and move them around, or we can just use it if we need to weigh a really heavy dog, so we don't have to lift them up to the table. This area back here is the actual surgical prep and recovery area. So these kennels here are where the dogs recover after surgery, and then we bring all of our prep stuff over here to these tables. Again, we have our oxygen and waste scavenging and light up above both of these prep tables so that we can get them intubated and hooked up to anesthesia in the interim between when they're being prepped and when we take them into surgery. This station is where we put all of our paperwork and get all of our calculations and drugs ready. And then that area over there is cat surgery and recovery. So cats stay in the same place for pre-surgery and post-surgery just because it's less stressful for them and they aren't as loud. The dogs start out in a pre-surgery area and then come over here when they're recovering. And then we have our actual surgery suite here. That unit is the mobile anesthesia unit. We take over the dental area when we're doing dentals. And then these are actual surgical tables and anesthesia machines, and we have pulse ox at each table. And again, we have lights and the oxygen and the scavenging from up top. So that is and we have our little pass through there between the PAC area and the surgical area. Again, that's cat surgery. Recovery, and then this is our pack area where we make all of our packs and things for surgery. Our autoclaves and sonic cleaner and laundry is also back there. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is our digital imaging unit for regular x-rays instead of dental, and that's back up here towards the front again. This is our 3 or 4 year old now digital x-ray unit. And our computer over here, we're pretty proud of this x-ray unit. It's allowed us to do a lot more for the animals. So, and there's our PPE over there. So that is my facility that I got all of my course tasks checklist and all of my experience from for my veterinary technology degree at San Juan College in New Mexico.